Hey, welcome back in. We talked about quiet quitting here on Good Day Alabama before. It's where an employee will do really the bare minimum required to keep their job. But we should also be mindful about not quiet quitting on ourselves. What does that mean? Here to explain is leadership expert and public speaker Pete Blank. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, we're always talking about quiet quitting from a workplace standpoint. And I started thinking, well, does this apply to our personal lives as well, whether we're parents or grandparents or kind of in a relationship? And what are some things we can stay motivated today to try to prevent quiet quitting in our home life?
As we look inward now in our own personal relationships, where do we start then?
Well, and you've already explained it on this show many times, I'm sure, but quiet quitting is, what's the bare minimum I can do at work without getting fired? Yeah. What's the least amount of effort I can put into something? And then I start thinking about, well, in a relationship, this is why I think some relationships fall apart, whether they're parents or friends or whatever, is that I just want to do the bare minimum in that as well. So that could be something as simple as, well, I come home from work, I've had a busy day, I don't want to do a whole lot more. I'm going to put just the minimal amount of effort into it. And again, we also relate it back to the compensation. So at work, people are saying, well, I'm not getting compensated enough, so why should I put in more effort? At home, you may be thinking, well, I don't feel like my spouse, my son, my daughter is putting in an effort, so why should I? And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy where I'm not going to put in any effort because I don't see you doing it, and you're not putting any effort because I'm not doing it, and now all of a sudden no one is really. So this idea of quiet quitting, it can really hurt a relationship.
All right, so now we know how this can negatively permeate our families. What do we do to fix it?
Well, I would say calendar appointments. I would say make time to be with people in your family. And a lot of us say, well, I want to get home, I want to sit down, I want to watch TV. How can I end up going, perhaps, making time with my family, putting it on the calendar.
Together, actually, really time.
One of those 5 love languages, quality time, being in the same room. And one more thing, Mike, appreciate what your relationship, your spouse, your kids, appreciate everything they do, no matter how trivial, because if you are always looking down on them, you don't do enough. If I do a small thing, appreciate it, enjoy it, that will prevent that person from quiet quitting.
Always really look for the good in
Look for the good in others.
I like that.
Absolutely.
All right, Pete Blank, we do appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thanks, buddy.
We're headed to the kitchen next.
All right.